Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Paul Drew spinning around on a chair. And I'm back in my slightly untidy studio. My name's James Ivey.
Paul Drew.
And welcome to episode 116 of the Studio Rats Live Q&A. I'm back. So there. Thanks to Lee for stepping in and doing a good job of being on Paul's side and Paul being on my side. Very strange. It looked very, very odd the couple of times I logged in.
It did look weird. It did look weird, but then I guess I can do this.
Oh, it's just all wrong.
All wrong. Is it? Okay, I'm going back.
It's
there
all
we
wrong.
go.
It's so wrong.
Here we go. So, Lee did a fantastic job. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, really good, actually. Lee did a stellar job. But how was your holiday?
It was very pleasant, thank you. We had our yearly outing to the Isle of Wight, and it was lovely. Weather wasn't fantastic considering what the last 6 to 12 weeks have been, but it was very nice to get away. Family came home exhausted, which is always a bonus. All well. Back fighting fit on Friday, back into the swing of things, and then finally getting my act together this week to actually get some work done and get some tracks done for various artists around the world, which is all good.
Nice.
How about yourself? What are you up
to? So after last week's holiday, I went on holiday myself.
Nice.
After last week's show, I went on holiday myself on Thursday. I went down to not far from where you were, actually. Went down to the New Forest, and it's funny, isn't it? You look over at the Isle of Wight. It's a big old lump of land, isn't it?
It is, but it's only, I think it's only about, I want to say 27 miles across. It's not huge.
That's a big old lump.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind owning it.
Yeah.
Front property, you know.
Is it all right? Because I haven't been there for years. Is it literally webbed feet and
what the ducks have? Yeah. No, it's very nice. You do meet people who go, "Oh, the mainland." Oh no,
yeah.
You do meet some people like that, but
then you do that on the Isle of Sheppey.
That is true. I did it. Oh God, I did a gig on the Isle of Sheppey, and I thought we'd walked into Methamphetamine Anonymous. God dear.
I've done gigs on Sheppey.
Oh. But no, I like the Isle of Wight. It's very lovely. Hope you all had a good couple of weeks out there, enjoying the fact we're now getting a little bit of rain, which is all good in the UK. Temperatures are cooling back to something towards, what's the phrase the weathermen use? A seasonal norm.
Can I just say, I bought a guitar, and so you haven't let me finish my stories and stuff. So I bought a new guitar, which we can talk about a little bit later on, that I'm super excited about.
Right.
Very excited about. So we'll talk about that later on too. And don't let me forget about the Sennheiser giveaway, which I'm going to put on my desk now.
All right, do that.
I'm going to put on my desk. I'm not going to show it.
Yeah, don't. You tease, Mr. Drew. You tease.
I know. We're doing a big giveaway.
So, I've got some interesting news about the next round of auctions.
Ooh.
We missed a good one last time out, but this one's looking very positive.
Did you see what any of the Gary Moore guitars went for in the last one?
I did. They went quite high. It wasn't the last time. So just to drop a teaser in, the second day of the auctions, because normally the way Gardner Holgate do it is they do guitars on the first day, amps and memorabilia and stuff on the second day, and then if there's a third day, it's kind of high tech and keyboards, and then sometimes there's a strings and like classical instruments. Boring stuff. This time there's actually 5 auctions over 3 days, so there's quite a lot going on. There's a lot of instruments.
Wow.
Some interesting stuff. But on the second day, quite a large chunk of it is the Gary Moore estate have put into the auction. This is actually part 2, as I discovered. Part 1 happened about a year ago, and that's when let's face it, that's when all the good stuff went. All the serious and guitars and stuff and all the good stuff.
And I think a lot of stuff, and there's quite a bit of stuff which does seem like it was at the bottom of his drawer.
It's at the bottom of the pile. Stuff that he probably used once and bought, went into a music shop and went, I need an amp for tonight, or something like that.
Or he got given a load of stuff.
Yeah. It's still some interesting stuff, and some stuff that you think, oh, if that could go for the right numbers, it'll be an interesting thing to have.
Yeah.
I do like a celebrity-owned or pre-celebrity-owned thing. There's actually in the memorabilia section, which I'm not going to bore anyone with, there's loads of interesting kind of signed photographs and stuff. And I'm thinking that might be quite cool for decoration for the studio.
Yeah. Of who?
There's a Thin Lizzy one. There's an Iron Maiden one. There's a Sammy Davis Jr. one. Some interesting stuff.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Some bizarre stuff as well, but see how it goes.
Nice.
Should we get into questions and stuff?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's go.
Chemical Peas first in the line. He says, "Howdy, y'all, from the beach town of Sebastian, Florida."
Nice.
Hi, Chemical P. Thomas Nonsense. Good morning from Brisbane. Good morning, Thomas.
Yes.
Or good evening, Chris Williams. Evening, chaps. Evening, Chris. Dave McQuillan's in the house. Hey, do you know what?
What?
I dug out all mine as well. Do you know what? I've got to show you up, mate. Look at this lot. Look at that lot.
Look at that. Lovely stuff.
Yes, so if you don't know, yes. Do you know what? That is my. We always talk about Dave, don't we?
Really?
Dave, that the 10p. Have you got a 10p? The old 10p.
The old 10p. Yeah, with the Jubilee 10p's with the gilding on them.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, damn. That pledge. I've just damaged something. That is my favourite.
They're actually shillings, aren't they? They're old shillings rather than 10. But we know
2 shillings.
Pardon?
What was 10p? Was that 2 shillings or?
I thought. Oh, maybe it was 2. I don't know.
Anyway,
we knew it was a 10p growing up, but it was actually a pre-decimalisation coin that they called something else as well. But yeah, awesome. I like that one as well.
Yes.
I've been using it today on my Telecaster to get a real twangy sound.
Nice. So Dave says, "Good evening to my fellow rodents. Would like to say well done to Lee for last week's show. Excellent overall knowledge." Yeah, Lee did a sterling job, as we said. Yes, perfect, good job. John Gordon says, "Greetings all. Hope you're all doing great, and to you, John." Pets in the house. Evening, both. Right. To the rest. Evening, Pet.
Yep.
Shep Shepard. Evening all. Evening, Shep. Lee's in the house. Pleasure, chaps. Great. Cheers, mate. Thanks again. Marky Effects. Howdy, folks. Howdy, Mark. Dave or Pavo. Good evening to all. Good evening, Dave all. Mississippi Blues. Evening all. Evening, Mississippi.
That's a new name, I think.
I've got a feeling might have been on before.
Okay.
Stephen James. Good day from Brisbane. Good evening, Stephen.
Nice. Oh, hello.
Isaac McCalazzi. McCalazzi.
Yeah, go with that. Yeah.
Go with that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. He says, "My ES335 Gibson sounds bassy in my GT1000 on all tones. How do I make it sound nice on all patches? Thanks." Two different options you got there.
Mm-hmm.
A 335 is a more rounded sort of
basic instrument. Yeah,
you're going to get more bottom end from a 335.
What pickups are you running it on as well? Because I've discovered that I get a more conventional tone on my Epiphone if I use the middle position.
Yeah,
and not just go for the neck or bridge pickups.
Well, I think the bridge pickup on a 335.
It's going to sound twangier, but if you put it in the middle, you get a really nice balance.
Yeah. I always think the neck pickup on a 335 is normally quite woolly, I would say, on the majority of 335s that I've played. Yes. So what I would do, I would put an EQ block on your input, because you're going to get, it's going to, especially if you're using a bunch of different guitars, and then you can switch on and off that EQ block. So say, for instance, you've got a Strat and you pick up the Strat and it's nice and twangy. I mean, that's the other thing. Are you programming the sounds for a Strat and then you're plugging a 335 in? Because that's never gonna translate. So you either need to create the tones specifically for your 335 if you're creating tones for, a multitude of other guitars, and then then you've got those patches. Or if you want to use those patches for a variety of different guitars, you need an EQ block first in the chain. That's what I would do. And then you shape the sound for the 335 for your patches. So what I would do is I'd probably take out between 200 and 300 hertz. Roll off the bass if you want to do that. Use a cut. And then if you want a bit more top, just give 5K a bit of a boost.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You could. Is there a master EQ on the GT1000?
Yeah.
You could, if you're just doing it as an overall kind of fix for a gig, say, you're on a gig situation and you need a quick fix, and because you've only got one guitar with you, just roll some bottom end out at those frequencies, but in the master EQ, which will do it for all patches, so you won't have to go for each patch and add an EQ block. That might be.
The only thing I'd say about that is still going to be all of that woolliness is going into the it's going into the unit. So maybe if you shaped it off before it went in there, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing is go and get a Boss G7. James and I have both got one.
Yeah, that's a great. That's a lot quicker.
Yeah. and then put that in the loop, in one of the loops in your GT1000, because it's got at least 2, depending on which GT1000 you've got.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can switch that pedal EQ, and you can shape it exactly how you want, and then have it before the amp or after the amp and try it out. I think a G7 for me is like a must.
Yeah, having not had one and now having one, it's a get out of jail free card every time.
Great pedal, yeah, and they're not expensive. They're not expensive at all. If you spend a lot of money, which you have on your GT1000, go and get a G7, and you'll be laughing.
Cool.
Jeff Rock says, "Good evening, guys. Good evening, Jeff." These nice tea got there. Roland Mengidoth, regards from Germany. Regards, Roland, to yourself. Aaron Schultz in the house. Hi, Aaron. How you doing? David Brose. Hello, mates. Hi, David. Hold on. Let's have a look at David's guitar.
Sorry.
Go back there. What's that? That Les Paul looks quite tidy, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? It's very nice.
Looks fairly of a certain vintage. Aaron Schultz says, "Looking forward to your thoughts on the Noel Gallagher releases." Oh yes, I'm going to be talking about them. I'm definitely going to be talking about them. When you say releases, I've only got one. Is there an Epiphone one as well?
I thought it was just one as well.
But no, we'll have a look. I will have a look. A florin is 2 shillings. What's a florin?
Yeah. A coin that doesn't exist anymore. We were talking about coins. I'm pretty sure that's a single shilling, which became 10p. No, a shilling was 5p. That there must be a florin, because Brian May uses shillings, doesn't he?
No, he uses threepenny bits.
Oh God,
threepenny bit. That's such a word, isn't it? That's a word from a bygone era.
Well, that's a carry-on label, isn't it?
Yeah, but the threepenny bits were hexagonal, weren't they? Hexagonal, yeah.
Was it threepenny bit? I thought it was a shilling.
No, I think it was a threepenny bit.
Oh, I don't know.
3 penny bit. Oh, that's stupid English terms.
Gotta love it.
Lee says, Lee's got some purchase news. I hope he hasn't sold that GT1 that I sent him. Duncan Mitchell says, "Evening Studio Rats, got my iPad with me, James. iPad." Yeah,
but it's a way open. Which reminds me, I'm going to post. I'm going to post the links to the show. Anybody wants to come and join us, they can do.
We'll leave someone to tell us about his purchase.
At any point, anybody wants to drop in, please feel free. The door is always open, as they say.
Oh yes. Versus Guitar Gear, right? I'm guessing that was threepenny bits. Probably yes. Shillings and all that sort of business. Thomas Nonsense at Lee Abraham. I listened to some of Lee's music on YouTube. I was blown away. I think that my new default position, if I get stuck, will be, what would Lee have done? Thank you. Nice one. Oh yes. Nedamido. Good evening, everybody. I think I found a guitarist to play with. A drummer is next. Anyone else starting up a band? Go. Oh, nice one.
Drummer. The problem with drummers is, and there's lots of problems with drummers, but actually, you need someone who's actually quite good. Someone who's, I play drums, and there's a lot of people who say they do and really don't. Now, obviously, this is coming from a drummer's point of view, so I'm going to be slightly cynical and jaded about it. But there's an old phrase that goes, a great band with an average drummer will only ever be average. An average band with a great drummer could be great.
Yeah, I would say
you can survive a gig with a weak keyboard player. You cannot survive a gig with a weak drummer.
Yes, I mean, I'd pretty much say that about all musicians. I think once you get to a certain stage playing with, you know, even if there's I think any member, but I think it's good. You know, we don't know what stage Nedamido's at, but I think, you know, it's like
playing full stop is the important bit.
Get out there, get out there and because the more you play with musicians, you know, the better you get. I mean, I wish I played them. I mean, you know, because of COVID, my gigs have gone right back down. So
we've got a gig together in a couple of weeks.
Quite exciting. We've got a gig.
It's going to be great to do a proper gig.
Ooh.
Right at this point, the substitute James Ivey is going to join us. Please welcome Mr. Lee Abraham.
Ah, there he is. He's had a haircut. Look at that.
No, I haven't. I need one. That's the problem.
Have you?
Looks terrible, doesn't it? But there we are. I was just going to say, your band is only as good as the drummer that's in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's have a look.
No, I've still got it. I've still got it.
Nice. There it is. There it is.
I've still got it. It's still here.
Lovely jubblies.
But I have bought. I've been very naughty because it was very expensive.
Hey, nice one.
He's bought a Quad Cortex. He's bought a Quad Cortex.
No, I didn't. But it's the most expensive unit I've ever bought.
Ah, nice one. And what do you think?
I love it. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Great. Oh, have I got any patches?
Must have.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I did a free if there's any patches. Yeah, if I've got any patches that are floating around, I'll chuck you. And, you know, if you like them or not, whatever.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I've put together sort of clean, crunch, overdriven, and solo patches, which is what I need for live. And all of the drive and the solo ones are based around the premium drive. That premium drive sound is just lovely, really good.
Great.
And it just sounds great live. It just cuts through really well. And I was going to talk to you about just a little tip that I've managed to pick up with this thing, actually, by watching a few other videos and just infiltrating the manual just to make sure I was doing it right. But when I use my in-ears, you know, as you probably know, obviously dependent on the quality of your in-ear monitors, sometimes distorted electric guitar can sound a bit toppy, a bit tinny through in-ear monitors. And I've been experimenting at home trying to get because I thought to myself, oh God, am I going to have to go out and buy some really, really expensive in-ear monitors? I think I've got I've got 3 drivers in the ones I've got. So I mean, they're sure ones. They weren't cheap.
They're right then.
Yeah, but I've been experimenting at home in my DAW in Pro Tools, you know, just working out a really nice guitar sound that I really like, and it's, you know, boosting a lot of the bottom end. It's cutting off a lot of the, you know, not much over 5K is in there. You know, cut off, get rid of all that. Boost 4K. You know, just shaping a really nice in-ear monitor sound. And what I've managed to do, so you on the back of this thing where you've got the various outputs.
Yeah.
So one of the sends, that one, I've set it to a sub out, so you can send it out and you can put a different graphic on it.
Oh, nice.
So basically, because when I use my in-ears with the band, all I have in my ears is me. Is my guitar, because I can hear the rest of the band over, even with them shoved. Excuse what I'm about to say, but even with them shoved right in, you can still hear the band because, you know, real drummer that's only 2 foot away. You know, it's quite loud. So all I have in my ears is just me. So what I'm doing is going out the main output on here, which is the regular guitar sound, which goes to the front of house, and out of the sub out for my own in-ears with a different graphic on it.
Oh, nice.
And it works really, really well. It's really good.
It's funny talking about in-ears. And we'll come to another in-ear topic shortly. But the thing I always do when obviously as a drummer, I've been using in-ears forever. A singing drummer, it seemed pointless to start trying to cut around monitors and having subs and all that sort of stuff. I've been using in-ears forever. And the most important thing that I find is normally these days we have digital consoles on stage just because they're smaller and more convenient to use. As long as my aux output has got a graphic on it, I can at least make it sound half decent. To the point where I've even used an EQ pedal to just give me some graphic control on an in-ear sound. just to try and cut some of the mid frequency. So all I've just got is top and bottom end for the kit. Yeah, it's so important, especially when the sound is here, to get it right.
Yeah, because it's right in your brain, and
you can kind of live with it. If it's coming through a wedge and it sounds a bit nasty, you can kind of live with it because you can move away or move. But when it's right inside your lug hole, there's no getting away from it.
Yeah, that's it. The only thing I was going to ask Paul is, what do you reckon about the wah sounds in here? Is it worth me getting the expression pedal and using the wah? Because I'm using a real wah in front of it at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think it's worth getting an expression pedal, even if you decide that you don't like the wahs, which I mean, they're good. They do sound good in there. I would say I would definitely get an expression pedal anyway. Just get a nice compact expression pedal. If you want to use it for a while, I'd really recommend getting a
EV30.
Didn't you get a mission?
Yeah, the only thing about the EV30 it's brilliant. It's a great expression pedal. That's the Boss one, by the way.
Right.
Got one somewhere. But it's great as an expression pedal. For me, it feels different when you want to do if you're used to playing like a Crybaby. I don't know what you've got.
Yeah, Crybaby. Yeah.
So if go and get the Emission one. They're more expensive, but they are basically a Crybaby. If you look at the potentiometer in it, it says Dunlop on it. So it's basically a Crybaby expression pedal. So you've got that sort of action. If you're used to that, you've got that.
Yeah.
But they're quite expensive. Second hand, though.
Well, yeah, possibly. I might just stick with the real wah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you got a real wah, stick with it, definitely.
The phrase, fix it.
Yeah, well, I quite liked the idea. I saw one of your videos, and I quite like the idea of, when you put it all the way back to the heel position, the tuner came on.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's quite handy, but that's only if you use it as a volume swell. I mean, if I was, because I build in all my volume changes into my patches, so I don't use a volume pedal at all. But I thought, no, if it was, if it did that tuner trick while it was on a wah setting, that would be great. But not on a volume setting. But still, and I love the polyphonic tuner in there. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good unit. Do you use the? Do you program using the screen, or do you plug it into the computer?
I've done both, actually. I started off by plugging it into the computer, and then I thought, this is all very well, but if I need to tweak something at a gig, I'm stuffed if I don't learn how to do it on the pedal. So
that's really true. That's really true.
So I have been tweaking on the pedal, but so far I've done 2 gigs with it this past weekend. So far, even my missus, who came to the gig on Sunday afternoon, said, "Bloody hell, that pedal does sound good, actually." So if the missus says it, know that you exactly. Yeah, even I said that. I was like, "What? Are you sure? What? Eh?"
Nice one.
So there we are. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Anyway, just thought I'd share.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Very cool.
Good job.
All right, chaps. Carry on. I shall see you later.
Cheers, Lee. Thanks again, mate. Bye-bye.
All good stuff. At this point, we're saying we didn't force Lee to buy anything. He bought it of his own accord with his own money.
Absolutely.
Just in case anyone thinks we're being funny or clever. Who knows?
John Gordon says, on your stretch, do you adjust the tone of your amp to your liking while using the neck pickup and then roll off the tone knob on the guitar when you switch to the bridge to get rid of some of the highs? That's a really good question.
I'm gonna chime in with, what's the point in using the neck pickup if you don't want the highs? Or am I missing something?
It really depends on how your Strat's wired. So a lot of Strats nowadays, and my preference is to have the bottom tone control as the bridge tone control,
right,
and the next tone control as everything else.
Right.
That's how I like to have it, because then
that was a thing.
Yeah. That's sort of standard modern wiring. And the reason you do that is because then you can roll back the tone on the bridge. When it's too big, because a Strat bridge pickup is pretty harsh.
Yeah, it's good. So I like that kind of cutting.
Oh dear.
I've been trying to get that. I mean, obviously, you're never going to get that out of lay sensors. You don't get the same tone.
No.
But I've been using Metelli to try and get that real biting 60s kind of twang.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's why I like it. The Silver Sky's different. The Silver Sky's got an overall. Yes, it is an overall. The bottom, I don't know what the middle one does on the Silver Sky. The bottom one does an overall. Great thing about the Silver Sky is you can roll back the tone quite far and it still sounds great. It's really sort of crystal clear, but without being. But it really just takes off those sort of 2K, 3K ear piercing things, which is really nice. So no, I don't do what you do, John. It's a really interesting. That's a really good thought for someone with a more sort of vintage wiring. I think that's a good way of doing it, I'd say.
Or, as we've just said, an EQ pedal.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, most of the time, if I'm using the bridge pickup on a Strat, it's for lead. It's for 80s high gain solo, that sort of thing.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's
you don't use your bridge pickup on a Strat for rhythm, do you?
For bridge pickup on a Strat would be low chord sort of chugging stuff, rhythm stuff.
Oh yeah. It's that sort of thing, but it's high gain.
And then the point of crossover for me is if anything up to around about the 10th fret, if I'm soloing, it's bridge. As soon as you go above 10, 11, 12, whack it onto the neck pickup to get that.
Why did you do that? That's really interesting. Why?
Just to get that kind of more openy, bluesy, oozy tones.
But why would you not use the neck pickup further down?
I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. Right.
It's too woolly.
Oh, I think it depends. Yeah, okay. There might be lace sensors. I think you need to whip them out. Put some bad boys in there.
Well, we'll come on to that shortly.
Oh, nice.
Shortly.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah, I think it very much depends on the guitar.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, because I haven't changed them in a while, they'll stay the strings.
Yeah. Strings do make a massive difference as well. Yeah. Mississippi Blues says, "Hi guys, I'm a newbie to the world of pedals. Just putting a board together. Nice one. So, what's the deal with buffers? Do you need them? Really depends." Go on, I'll let James. Go on. Can you go?
So I was going to say, check out the video that we did on. I think we called it "Building My Pedalboard," or didn't we call it? It was something like how to use fuzz on your pedalboard, something like that. And we talk about buffers quite a lot in that one, so it might be worth checking that video out.
Yeah, I think buffers are quite depending on how many pedals you've got and that sort of thing. I mean, basically, pedals tone suck. If you've got a bunch of true bypass pedals, if you think about all the capacitors and resistors and stuff that's in there, you've got the whole signal chain going through all of these different things, and then so you can think of it as lengths and lengths of cable.
Mm-hmm.
It's all degrading or getting duller. So the buffers basically bring back it changes the impedance, doesn't it? But it brings back the highs. And so I've got on my actual pedal board, I've got a Boss ES8, so I can have a buffer on the input and on the output, which is how I like to run it.
I'm seriously toying with getting one of those when I move over to the new studio.
Yeah,
just to
great
board. But at the moment, I've got what I'm calling my before the amp board, which is all my distortions, overdrives, and fuzzes, things like that. And I've got my loop board, my in the loop board, which is all my kind of choruses and delays and reverbs and stuff.
Nice, yeah. I think, and yeah, buffers aren't expensive. Things like I gave James a TC Electronic True buffer. I think it's
bona fide buffery thing.
Bona fide buffer. They're not that expensive, but well worth experimenting with. If you're using a lot of pedals, I would say yes. I think it's quite important. Sixpence, that's what it was.
Yeah, everyone's now telling us we're stupid, and yes.
Sixpence. I can't even think what a sixpence looks like.
Tiny. It's an old 5p.
Oh.
No, that's a shilling. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Isaac Makalazi says, kindly make some patches for semi-hollow guitars on the GT1000 or a video. Would love to see how you work around it. I haven't actually got a semi here.
You have, haven't you?
Well, I've got a couple of F-hole guitars.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not really
Okay.
not really ES sort of styles.
Right. So,
Dave McGuinn says Brian May uses 6p coin. The one you have is a 2 shillings.
yes, 2 shillings became 10p, didn't it? Effectively.
Jeff Rock would love to join, but the wife won't let me until I tidy my room. Well, tidy your room. It's true. You should have planned all this, Jeff.
You're not the boss of me, love, and and then we'll see you with the black guy later on.
Yeah, don't get involved in all that stuff and all that sort of stuff. Pet says, Jeff, why would you ever let her in your room in the first place? Maybe wants a cuddle. Jeff says you could probably survive with a weak drummer, James, but you won't get invited back.
It's true. It's true.
I think there's nothing worse. I mean, I'd say a weak rhythm section more than just because there's nothing worse. The thing is that a drummer will play, and then if it's a bad bass player, the drummer still sounds bad.
I've done gigs. I did a gig once, and the guitar player, you know, when someone turns up and the phrase "all the gear but no idea."
Hey, hello.
And this guy turned up, and our bass player knew him from the past, and it's like he'd forgotten how to play. And Ben, my keyboard player, turned to me and said something he's never said to me before and never said to me since. He said, "Play more notes." It was so bad. It was so bad.
There's nothing worse than doing a gig.
Trying to cover up the guitar player in a 4-piece rock band is difficult.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Dave McQuillan says Billy Gibbons sometimes uses a Mexican peso. Well, there you go. That's I can hear that actually with Billy Gibbons. Yeah. Anderson Oliver says, "Hi guys, what do you think about running the GT1000 core into a Katana amp?" Yeah, definitely. Just make sure you turn off the speaker sim part, the IRs. No reason. Go on, James.
I'm assuming you could do what Lee's doing, but have the Katana as your foldback. You're effectively in front of you as a monitor.
Yeah.
And just turn off the speaker simulation to that output, and then send everything else front of house, stereo front of house to the PA.
I think that's a great way of doing it. Yeah, definitely. If you've got a PA, and I know Lee likes to run things mono, but if you're running the GT1000 into the PA, and you're just using the Katana as a monitor, I would definitely do exactly what James says.
Run it into the power amp input, and just use that effectively as a power amp and a speaker.
And then you still got all your lovely stereo effects if you still want to go into the desk.
Yeah.
DMAX says, just a comment, I really like the latest firmware updates to the Katana Mark II and Tone Studio. If they could get it Bluetooth to phone or tablet, it would be ideal. Maybe the Mark III. Yeah, maybe. I would have thought all of that sort of stuff is the boss have got sort of planned for the Mark III. I know nothing about the Mark III. I've never had any discussion, but I imagine that's the sort of thing that they'll be thinking about with the Mark III.
Yeah, cool.
Nedamido, I agree about drummers being the most important part. I can play rather simple parts, but if the bass works great with an amazing drummer, it will sound great. It's true.
Yeah. And a good bass player and a good drummer will cover up a multitude of sins with the rest of the band. A bass player and a drummer who are fighting, it's horrible.
Just overplaying. I just hate overplaying musicians as well. I did a gig in Russia once. I was in Moscow, and it was basically I was like a featured. I did this production. I think I might have talked about this before. I did this album for this famous guy out there, and he wanted us to come over and then perform the album in the planetarium. It was amazing. So it was you were in the Moscow planetarium with all the stuff going on. It must have cost an absolute fortune.
I bet it was acoustically a nightmare.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, it's all right actually. It was all right. But anyway, so I took Dan Hawkins, because I said that if I'm coming and doing this, I want an MD that can. If I'm worried about if I'm being like the lead parts of everything, I want an MD dealing with the other guys. And they got in four Russian guys, two Russian guys, and so we had a keyboard player, bass player, and 2 girl singers. Okay, so that's what we were doing. And the keyboard player, who was obviously, let's put it this way. Actually, I'm not going to say he was very gifted, very talented, but it was his gig as far as he was concerned. And he was putting in like all this substitution stuff, and it just didn't need it. And he was just trying to make it too much, and he was just trying to make it his gig. And I exploded afterwards.
Yeah, I've done gigs like that. I did a gig where it was a ship gig, and my band didn't have a keyboard player. So what we used to do is for jazz sets and afternoon stuff, we'd pull in the lounge pianist. And on one guy who used to dep in with us could clearly play and knew how to play with a bass player and a drummer, and he was great. What the other guy was so used to playing on his own, he was putting everything in and all the bass lines, and I'm like, just stop playing with your left hand.
Yeah, so you got to do. It's simple.
Why?
That is a classic. That is a classic piano player, a bar piano player, or a solo piano player thing to do, to come into a band situation and completely, use the left hand far too much.
Yeah, it's like your left hand is for effects and to fill up the other notes that this hand can't play.
Do you know the best? Well, actually, I played with loads of great keyboard players, Steve Williams and stuff. But I always love playing with Steve because he's brilliant. But Jack Duxbury, fantastic. He just never overplays. He just always plays the right thing. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I like playing with keyboard players who basically go, "Don't need this one."
Yeah,
I'll do this.
Yeah.
Or they'll be playing the chords with this hand and putting all the contra motion stuff and all the lines in. That's when you can tell the difference between a piano player and an organist, because an organist can do that.
Yeah. Or a keyboard,
yeah. Organist, but an organist, as in a double manual organist, will learn to do that, and then they make better keyboard players than just straight pianists. Anywho.
Namido, I agree about drummers being the most important part. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, there we go.
Good evening, James, Paul, and Lee. Good evening, and your Guitar Live. Namido says, I've heard amateur bands with great guitarists and singers, but the drummer ruined it. I've also heard pro bands where the guitarist makes mistakes, but the drummer is an effing clock, and it works.
Yeah.
Welcome to next Saturday, I'd say.
Which one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, which one? I meant, me making mistakes. Anderson Oliver, running it into a power amp should work great. I've run Boss IR200 and H6 Stomp into Katanas that way. Yes, I should actually say, whoever said Anderson Oliver, if you've got a Katana 100, go into the effects loop return. Don't go through the Katana input, because you're basically running preamp into a preamp. And it just won't sound that
kind of crazy mess.
Yes, a bit fuzzy, a little bit woolly. Sounds like the Silver Sky has a treble bleed fitted. There we go. And now I don't know much about sort of treble bleeds and tone bucket, tone. What's the Fender one? The other Fender.
I don't know.
Grease bucket.
Right.
Grease buckets and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pet Moxie says, given my amp setup, there are many pedals you would avoid. Are there many pedals you avoid, or is it just open season? Depends how you're running your amps, because if you're running your Princeton clean, putting something like a high gain pedal in front of that, to me, doesn't always sound great. If it's got a little bit of guts on it, a little bit of dirt on it, you can basically, to me, you can run anything into anything, and it always sounds great.
It's that. Here we go. Take a drink, everyone. That Paul Drew clean on the verge of breakup thing is a multitude of sins. It's funny. I was doing some tracks today, and I wanted a clean sound, but I knew just a little bit of grit was gonna help
make it cut.
Oh, not even that, just help make it fit.
Yeah.
I don't always put a bit of grit on the bass for some of these 60s style tracks, even though I probably should, because it will make the bass sound more authentic. I'm not mixing them, I'm just recording them so they can do the next person on the chain can do whatever they want with them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, go for it, Pet. Just try anything, I would say, with what you've got. I mean, the Bad Cat's going to sound different with an overdrive in it than the Fender, but I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Jonathan McCulloch says, I'm about to get a 2x12 Mesa Boogie running V30s. Nice.
Nice.
Is it likely they were overpower single 2x12 Mesa running Black Shadow into a stereo cab set up with the Kemper? Okay, let me read this again. I'm about to get a 2x12 Mesa Boogie with V30s. Is it likely they will overpower a single 2x12 Mesa running Black Shadows in a stereo cab set up Kemper?
No, I think you're reading this as I'm about to get a 2x12 Mesa Boogie cab with vintage 30s.
Yeah.
How is it going to balance against a 2x12 Mesa cab running with Black Shadows in?
Is the Black Shadow, was that the Celestian modded speaker, or was that the Black Shadow? Give me 2 seconds.
Black Shadow was an EV rather than a.
No, I think the Black Shadow was Celestian.
Right. Should be okay.
Although, it says, some were Eminence. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Still English though.
Yeah, so some are Eminence, and some are 150 watt. Wow. Okay.
I think it also depends on the ohmage, the resistance of the cab as well, massively.
Without a doubt, yeah, definitely. I don't think it will overpower it. I think the other way round. If depending on what Black Shadow you've got in there. The only Mesa cab that I've ever used, I think, is the one with the EVs in it, and that was incredibly loud.
Yeah, cabs. And to be fair, the cab can make the biggest difference to the tone.
Oh, massive, yeah.
To quote Canadian shouty man at the moment, but yeah, he's absolutely right. The cab is the biggest thing that's going to make the difference.
He is a shouty man, isn't he?
I went to see Andy Sneap quite a while ago now, and the man has a collection of cabs, and I said, "So, but why so many?" He said, "Because they all sound different."
Yeah.
The variation of
cabs. And he plugs in his Kemper.
Yeah. Yeah. So difficult to know. It's difficult to know without knowing a few more details whether one will be. And let's face it, it's difficult to know off the top of our heads whether one will be louder than the other, but they'll certainly sound different. That's for sure.
Yes. There's Z Peps has. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for your generosity. That is going to buy us a nice. Would you want this pink, James? What sort of pinky drink?
Oh, a Pink Lady champagne.
Oof. Pink Lady. Nice. I'm going to have one of them. Yeah, cheers, you Peps. That's really kind of you, mate. That will go to the Pink Booze Fund. Jeff Rock says the Vertex Effects channel has some good info on buffers. Yes, he does, actually. Yeah, Mason's really, really good on that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think most people say that it's great to have a buffer as, two buffers.
Yes.
Mississippi Blues. Thanks, guys. Just got the Jam Pedals Pink Flow. Wow. Amazing unit. Great video explanation by you, Paul. Oh, nice one. Yeah, that's great. Did you buy that? Did you buy that after the video? If so, it might be nice to, if you did buy it after watching our video, just send Jam a little message just saying I bought this after watching Studio Rats, and you'll be doing us a massive favour. Massively.
This we should also go.
Thanks, mate. Favorite guitarist and band from the Britpop 90s era? Deep question. No, that's a really good question.
I've got two.
90s era.
One's predictable, one's not predictable.
Okay.
Well, in the Blur versus Oasis battle, I was always a Blur fan. But my favourite Britpop band was Republica.
Yeah. Well, because they were quite electronic, weren't they?
Quite electronic, rocky. And I went for the job with Republica, and Pete Riley got it, unsurprisingly.
Oh, nice. That would have been quite a nice gig.
And she was really hot back then as well. So,
yeah, there was definitely a reason why she was in the band. I'm trying to think who I really like. I think who was the guy from the Verve? I know we're just going to get loads of comments.
Richard Ashcroft.
No, the guitar player.
Oh,
Cabe.
Yeah.
Cabe?
Yeah.
I used to like what he did. I was never really into Britpop.
I liked Suede as well because I like Bernard Butler's guitar playing.
Bernard Butler again. That's a good shout because it really well played, really good parts. But I was never into that. I was still into sort of the. I think I was still into
going Whitley.
Yeah, and I regret. I regret not listening. Yes, I regret not listening to that more.
I sold Bernard Butler a Valve radio.
Yeah.
Because it had an auxiliary input and you could plug a guitar into it, and it was one of the best Valve amps I've ever heard. And I think I sold it for about 50 quid. It's along the lines of my Fender Champ story that an original 60s, 70s Fender Champ that I sold for like 20 quid.
Craziness.
Oh, the craziness. Yeah.
Jade Sean said John Squire with the Seahorses. I saw it down there. Definitely Seahorses. Again, like really interesting guitar parts. Sorry, where are we?
We are there.
Zpep says, hello James and Paul. How about Katana video with some patches for acoustic and other with the new updates on the Air Step? Yeah, I get lots of, and I've said this before, I get lots of requests for acoustic patches and videos about the Katana with acoustics. And the thing is, because acoustic preamps vary so much, it's almost impossible to do, to be honest. Because I could plug in my Takamine with a preamp, and James could plug in his.
Yeah.
And it would sound. James would, James is. If I did the patch for my guitar, it would sound awful when James plugged in. So I like to sort of stick away from that because you end up just getting loads of comments saying it sounds shit on my guitar. It's like when you do a patch with a Strat or a Telecaster and someone plugs a Les Paul into it, it doesn't sound the same. Well, it's not going to sound the same.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Zpep says, question: why my guitar sounds microphonic and feedback's easy? Is it the pickups? It's a solid body telly from the 70s. Yes, it'll be. You've probably got an unpotted pickup. So you could just take the pickups out and just go and get them potted. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. Basically, they dip the pickup in wax. I guess it's a type of wax. And basically, what that does is all the wax then just gets in between all of those. If there's any gaps in the cables, which there will be, especially in your 70s lovely telly. Is it a telly? Yeah, it's telly. And it will fill in all those gaps and stop all that microphonic nastiness. But it will dull down that pickup a little bit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Chesty. Paul discussing the keyboard player. Classic example of showboating for showboating's sake instead of servicing something. Exactly.
And they're terrible for it. A good keyboard player probably plays 2 notes of a chord because they're filling in gaps. They're not going and blasting one out.
Yeah. Jonathan McCulloch. Oops, I meant a single Mezzo 1x12 Black Shadow. My mistake. No, I think you'll be all right. I mean, they do sound very different, like a 2x12 and a 1x12, especially with. Yes, I think you're gonna have to try it. I think
watch out for the impedances, because if you use them at the same time, and the impedances are wrong, you're going to have a mathematical quandary whether you should be running a valve amp. Are we talking Katana? Were we? Or I can't remember.
No, I can't remember what the amp. I don't think he's. Oh no, it's with the Katana. With a Kemper. So it'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
But I think it'd definitely be worth checking just to make sure. I don't know what you can do with those Class D power amps. I'd definitely have a look, or maybe just send a little email into Kemper and ask. Just say, look, I want to do this. This cab is this ohmage. This cab is this ohmage. Is that cool?
And if the single 12 doesn't say the ohmage, it's the ohmage on the speaker, because a single cabinet in a single cone in a box, it's just there's nothing clever you can do. It's just the impedance of the speaker. In the tuba 12, you need to check how those speakers are wired, whether they're wired in series or parallel, and what you can work out the resistance or the impedance of the cab from then. It'll probably tell you.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Here we go.
Mississippi Blues, your video was the deciding factor. Oh, nice one. Oh, I'm glad that glad that helped. It's a great
jab.
Yeah. Aristotle's Dukas 2x12 versus 1x12, which is louder, depends on so many variables. You can't do anything without knowing the sensitivity of the speaker and the power used, etc.
Yes.
There you go. Yes, John Squire with the Seahorses, absolutely. Jeff Rock, 200-watt Black Shadow Eminence in my old 80s 1x12 measure amp. They should be called Black Hole, the weight of them. That's probably the EV ones. Hats off to anyone thinking of buying a 2x12 measure. Yeah. Yeah, those EV speakers are so heavy.
The only beaten by the JBLs that were in the back of a Fender Twin from a certain era. Those JBLs, the magnet was nearly as big as the cone.
Yeah, those with the silver caps on them.
Yes,
yeah,
they were heavy, and you could cut glass with the sound.
Never like that. Never like that. So you have to try, but 2x12 should sound louder.
Yes, should.
100% agree on Bernard Butler and Richard Oakes. I think that's his name, who followed. Yeah, nice one, Pat. Aristotle Dukas says, if you want acoustic amp, buy acoustic amp. Katana is not for acoustic. Period. I do agree with that.
Check out, because I saw one the other. Actually, there's one in the auction. Check out the old Trace Acoustic amps. Mm-hmm. They were great. They did a 2x5, a 4x5, and an 8x5. They were really, really good, because you could actually plug loads of different microphone into it and loads of different things. Trace became Ashdown, and Ashdown did the same thing.
I didn't know that. Trace became Ashdown.
And yeah, they also did an Ashdown acoustic amp, which was basically the 4x5 Trace Acoustic. It was either a 5 or a 6-inch speaker they had, but
nice one.
Really cool little thing. So if you aren't looking for an acoustic amp that makes acoustic sound really good, that's a really good place to start. They did a little 2x5, which was a great little thing for gigs. If you just had an acoustic for like a couple of songs, it was really easy to have that just plugged into your acoustic.
Yeah, nice one. Lee says, Britpop, guy from Motion Colour Scene. Steve something.
Steve Craddock.
Steve, yes, that's it, isn't it? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Great parts. Yeah, really good parts. Yeah, I wish I learned more of that sort of stuff. Yeah. I think that's so much more useful than learning wiggly.
Down. Everyone did that. We did it as a walk-on for acts and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good walk-on tune, isn't it? Flashback 01 says, Paul, if you had to choose just one, what would it be? Axe FX3, Kemper, GT1000, GX100.
3, 2, 1.
There's no doubt in my mind which one is the best unit. Don't get me wrong, the other units are fantastic, and you get great tones out of all of them, but the Axe FX is definitely, for me, it's the cream of the crop. Pet says, and I have used all of those as well, and I'm not saying anything bad about all of them. All of them are great. Sorry,
but there's a really good reason the Kemper is 3 times as much money as pretty much
the Axe FX. The Axe FX is 3 times.
So that's what I meant. Sorry, the Axe FX is 3 times as much money as the
Tommy Emanuel has a signature acoustic amp. He sounds okay on it. Yeah, he sounds pretty okay on it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Thoughts on Fulltone closing? All coming up in the news. I bought a barefaced 1x12 cab. Oh, nice. I no longer feel the need to own a 2x12. Sold my last one a couple of months ago. Still haven't tried one. Still really like to try one of those barefaced.
I want to as well. We'll get around to. I'll get around to abusing that link at some point.
Can
So
you guys, so you the audience that's listening, James has been saying this for a year at least.
A year.
At least a year.
I have moved house, and I am trying to build a studio, so I've been fairly busy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So should we get on to some of the goodness that is the latest goodies, and most importantly, what I'm looking at for the auction next week?
Oh, yeah, sure. Should we do my guitar first, or should we do that later?
Go through the guitar.
Or should we do that later? We might keep people.
Do that after, because then otherwise it's a show and tell thing, and then it's just all pictures.
Yeah.
I am going to show. So this. Let me just get this up. Hang on a second. No, not that one. You silly person. I'm going to show my screen. I'm going to show my screen on the other computer just because I can. So there are, as I said, there's quite a few some good stuff coming up.
Right.
If I just show the first page, there's a lot of quite nice.
Oh,
there's Paulage going along.
Prices, yeah.
And the prices are actually quite good. But I want to.
I don't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
No, of course. But I'm going to do this. This is the stuff I'm watching. I'm going to flick to the bottom.
So hold on, go back up.
No, I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
So there's a couple of things I'm quite interested in. This.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because if I got it for 500 quid, it's quite a nice plug-in a pickup changing platform as a guitar to not be emotional about changing things on.
I think you should be able to get that for. Well, I mean, I think it probably go for around 7. I would say.
Well, I actually quite like it. I like.
No,
that.
I think it looks great. I almost prefer that to it. Well, it's very. It looks like PRS Santana is what it looks like.
Yeah.
But
it's in great.
The thing I like about it, it's got the 54 tailpiece on it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, it hasn't. That's got a compensated one. That's interesting. I've never seen that guitar ever.
But I really like it.
Yeah, I really like that. But why? You've got a studio. Why?
I just like the look of it, and I thought as a guitar for donoring, for being like a testing guitar, it's going to be a good guitar to play, and it's probably going to feel all right.
And then another guitar that you own.
Not quite, because it's a hardtail.
Oh, okay.
All right. And then I thought, well, there's an also.
How much is that? Hold on, what's that? 40 what? Bloody hell, you love it, don't you? Hold on, I can't talk.
Right.
What am I talking about? I can't. I've got multiples of guitars.
Yeah. But I quite like that. It's got quite a nice.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's also this bad boy.
Oh, nice.
Which is
a special.
Yeah. But
a bolt-on one, yeah? Is it a bolt-on?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes.
Nice.
But I only added that because I thought, well, I've already got one. I'm interested to see what it goes for.
How much? Yeah, how much is it going for? Because it's different to your one.
1,000 or 1,500.
That's funny. That's funny why they've priced that at what I would expect it to, and the other ones they're priced lower. But yeah, okay.
This just because it's quite interesting.
Cool. Yeah. I used to have one of them. I had the white and black ones. Really cool. Great sounding pickup.
But you're sorry?
Great sounding pickup.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you'd hate that.
Eddie Van Halen tone. That pickup was really great.
I thought you'd hate that. This one, I really want a fretless bass.
Oh no. James, the 80s is gone, mate. You need to forget that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, please, never.
But look at the numbers: 300 to 500 quid.
Well, it's a Japanese, like an Aerodyne, is it?
What do they call it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
I quite like that. That would have a use for me though, as opposed to being a guitar for just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I think if that goes for between 300 and 500 quid,
yeah,
that's an amazing buy.
What? Is that what it says? 300 to 500 quid?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hang on.
Yeah, that's crazy. What is it? It's
4 to 6. But still,
Does it come with a crappy gig bag? It's a look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that one. Yeah.
That's a great guitar for that.
Yeah. It's got the someone's a Joe Bonamassa fan. Can you just click on it again? Just click on the main picture.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Someone's a Joe Bonamassa fan. He's done the knob thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, not in the right way as well.
No, should be top and bottom.
Well, no, just the wrong knobs. But
all right.
It looks like they put some black Strat type knobs on it. Looks a bit weird.
Now, this I saw, and I thought you would hate this.
No, what is it? It's a 68 reissue, but of
yes.
What made in what?
It's the Japanese. Oh no, it's actually no, it's not. It is it's made in Japan.
Oh, it's a Japanese one. Okay, how much?
600 to 800.
Yeah, nice. Unusual guitar, but yeah.
So then we get into when I kind of put watching, I don't instantly assume I'm going to buy them all, but I see it, I think, oh, that's not bad. Again, the right sort of price for an SG.
So it's a standard. How much?
Yeah,
it's really hard for us to see actually because the price
8 to 900.
That's tidy, isn't it? I like that.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I like that a lot.
I saw this and I just thought, interesting.
Did I say Gordon Smith?
The Gordon Smith.
Yeah. What the hell is going on? Go on, click on that. What's that thing in the middle? Because we can't really see it.
It's a sticker. It's danger, high voltage. But it's got peanut. It is humbuckers, which is interesting. It looked like P90 to start with, but that's only because I've got this thing for Explorers.
I know, but that's not an Explorer. It's a copy of an Explorer. What
I know.
How much is it? How much did it say?
3 to 5.
I
doubt it'll go for that.
It's worth a punt, isn't it?
This I thought was quite interesting.
Is it a Nashville? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, with the extra pickup.
Yeah, nice.
What
saddles?
Pardon?
Still can't see.
Hang on, sorry.
See, has it got the sort of classic saddles? I changed
No,
that.
it's got six saddles.
Has it? Oh no, you need to change that for the brass. But is it? Oh, that's unusual. Okay, nice.
I didn't think that was bad for 400 to 500 quid. It will go up, of course. It will go up.
Yeah, it will go up.
This one I looked at, I found afterwards and thought, oh, if I could get this, I'd be a happy man.
Oh yes, that's nice.
That's the Eric Johnson signature.
Yep, like that a lot.
Very, very nice.
How much?
8 to 12. It'll go for 12.
Yeah, at least I would have thought. But if you can get that for a good price, that's a really nice guitar.
Mm-hmm. I looked at that and thought, yummy.
Yeah, I think that's a Sterling one, yeah.
Is it? Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't notice it was a Sterling, so I'm taking that off the list. I have to admit.
There's nothing wrong with the Sterlings. The Sterlings are really good. They're really good, really well made instruments. But it's the equivalent of a Squire.
Yeah. Whereas I looked at that and thought,
hey, Clapton.
Yes, exactly.
But that's basically what you've got.
Yeah, exactly. I looked at that and thought, yummy. I wanted to see what it would go for, to see what mine would go for, because mine's an 89 and this is a 95. So,
right.
Just out of curiosity, really.
Yeah, nice.
So there's a few other bits and pieces. So for a start,
a real
one.
Gary Moore's as well.
And it's Gary Moore's.
Oh, that's a cool thing to have. If you can get Gary Moore's,
that would go for more than 200 quid.
I think that's a good buy though.
Yeah. For the studio, I
can't see what it is.
Is
it a B? What is it? A B what?
No, it's not a real one. It's a Korg BX3.
Oh, BX3. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That would be good. That would be good for the studio.
Be very cool for the studio.
Takes up a lot of space though.
I'm going to buy it, but look at the price.
Yeah, we talked about this last week actually.
Right. Okay.
Because it was the one used in Monkey Wrench.
Yes, 15 to 30 grand. I'll be watching that just for a laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I think the Foo Fighters are a fantastic band. I love the Foo Fighters, but I'm not sure that they're iconic status yet. I think that they're selling that too early. I think they will be.
Yeah. So in the eternal look for interesting amplifiers, I thought that looks quite cool.
Which one is that? That's the.
It's a Sedona.
I don't know the Sedona. Okay, nice.
But if it goes for 4 to 6, that's not a bad buy.
No, that's great. They did one. Rivera did one that was half electric, half acoustic.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a weird. That was a weird out. I'm just concerned it's not that one. If it's not that one, great. Oh, look at that.
Hangers.
Now that'd be good for you, wouldn't it?
Very handy at the moment.
Yeah, they're worth buying, mate, because they're not cheap.
Yeah. This looks very interesting. Now I appreciate this is a guitar channel, but neat.
Nice.
That's seriously tasty, and the money on that is gonna be huge.
What are they estimating?
8 to 1,200. Never.
They're having a laugh. But for one unit,
that's me 5,000 quid.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't, I'll be swooping in there to get. If it goes for 4 figures, I'll be swooping in there.
You should buy that and then sell it.
Yeah, it'll make money instantly. Oh,
God, yeah. I love this.
Yes, just because I'm curious.
What are you doing, man?
Because I had one of these and they were amazing.
No, you thought it was amazing. You thought it was amazing at the time. That was not
80 to 120 quid.
Oh, mate, that's just going to take up space, and you don't need that. You do not need that.
And these two are interesting Christmas present for my old man.
Nice, yeah, really nice, yeah.
If it goes for 100 quid, that's a good Christmas present.
Yeah.
For the old.
Oh, that's a great present. Yeah, that's a really great present.
So that's what I've been looking at.
Nice.
There are hundreds. So the Gary Moore auction pages are hilarious. Let me just refresh that because it's. I mean, some of the stuff is absolutely hysterical. If I go to there, hang on, so I can go into that one. The first few.
To be honest, we did this last week.
Yeah.
So we did all of these last week.
If that goes for like 300 to 600 quid.
Well, that's a no-brainer, is it? That amp's a no-brainer.
It does say that it's some work. It's not working.
It's not working.
In need of a good service.
Okay, but that's still. I mean, you can't. You couldn't really expect to buy a JCM 800 from that era and not expect to have a go at it. What I think you should get, mate, is that one. That's one I think you should get. That's massive. Mate, that's massive. That's like a full stack. You should definitely buy that.
There is no way that's going to go for 100 quid. If it does, someone needs to bump me.
Absolute pile of crap.
Anywho, that's my deluging.
Right, should I do news or should I do guitar?
Those auctions greatly.
So news first, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Let me. Oh, do you want to? Can you remove your screen just for bandwidth and stuff?
Hang on. How do I remove?
I'll do it. I'll do it. I've got it. Don't worry, I'll do it. There we go. Okay. Let's share screen. Okay. So a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a short scale Stingray, which I think is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, because a Stingray is like this.
Yeah, it's a big old lump.
But a short scale, so that bass that Dan's got, that
the Justin Meldell Johnson.
Yeah. That short scale sounds wicked.
That's a great sounding bass, that one. But I love a Stingray.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the sound of a Stingray, and I think short scale. I think I think the colours look awesome.
I do like that kind of tealy green colour, tealy greeny blue. That's lovely.
That one.
Yeah.
It's funny. We always go for different colours, don't we? That red, I'm all over that red like a rash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
like that a lot. I don't think there's anything further down. Oh god, some nasty metal guitars. Oh god, no thanks. Definitely no thanks for that. Right. What is going on? I notice when we were talking about like favorite guitar players from the 90s, no one mentioned Noel Gallagher.
No.
I mean, so why have Gibson done a Noel Gallagher, a Murphy Lab age Noel Gallagher EX3?
Because it will sell. There'll sell gazillions of them.
But it's not a first of all, it's not a 335. It's a 355.
Exactly.
So it's not. So what what is everything's wrong about this? I'm really upset about it.
It's a guitar that's going to sell gazillions, even with a £10,000 price tag, which it has.
There's so many great guitar players out there.
Mm-hmm. But Noel Gallagher was in a very, very famous band.
Were they that famous outside of the UK?
Yes, they were huge. They're a massive band.
I think some of the lyrics just really upset me from that band. It's like rhyming dictionary 101, isn't it? Anyway,
yeah,
that really upsets me. This I thought was quite interesting. So Fender Japan.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what Fender are doing. Fender are looking, and I know that this band is not really anything that we would be familiar with, but Fender are looking at younger bands and younger artists, and Gibson just go to these older artists.
But Gibson looks at this and went, who else can we do a guitar of? And someone said, what about a Brit, Noel Gallagher?
But
he's got one of ours.
And anyway, I'm so upset about this. So anyway, I thought that's quite cool.
That's very cool.
And they're doing something slightly, and they're doing something different. It's a bit surly, but I think that looks really nice. It's 187,000 yen. I can guess. I haven't got a clue. I don't know how much that goes for. But look at that one.
That's quite cool.
That's really nice, isn't it? I really like that. So more Gibson-y inspired sort of hardware and bits and bobs. I really like that. Basses, yeah, it's a jazz bass. It looks like a jazz bass.
It's a jazz bass.
It's a jazz bass, isn't it? Like that. I thought this was quite exciting.
Ooh.
New Steve Stevens V2 100-watt hand-wired head from Friedman.
That's going to be the loudest thing since.
Jesus, that'd be loud.
Since what they called Disaster Area.
Yeah, he's but funny enough, he really uses attenuators quite a lot. So
yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter. It's a 100-watt head.
Well, he uses Boss tube amp expanders, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice. And Steve Stevens
that sounds great as well.
Yeah, Steve Stevens, guitar god, absolutely amazing guitar player, proper guitar player. Unlike
scary hair.
There he is again. Yeah. So this is a bit sad. So Fulltone are closing. They're closing their shops. Closing the factory. But actually thinking back, how big Fulltone are or have been, and I don't understand why they're closing, because they must have sold a gazillion OCDs over the years, and they're really good. Their prices, Fulltone's prices, have always been like really good. So I can't really understand why it's closing, but it's a shame. Because
sometimes businesses, they ride high and then they don't move with the times. They don't. It's like, so in the UK we have a directory called Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages, when Paul and I were a kid, was probably this thick.
Yeah,
it was a doorstop. These days the Yellow Pages is this thick. because and eventually they moved their model over to the internet because unfortunately no one flicks through a listings Bible anymore.
Yeah,
they Google it.
Yeah.
So companies have to move with the times, and if companies don't, then unfortunately they go bang, they go pop.
Well, shall I read off this is the press release that Danny said. It's with a heavy heart that I announce that Fulltone will be closing its doors in California after 30 years. The building which I own is up for sale. So he owns the building. Okay, myself and my crew want to thank your support all these years and putting up with my eccentricities as well. Do not feel sorry for me. I have made many mistakes and learned a lot in the past 30 years. The heavy heart is for my 10 to 15, 20 and 26 year employees who are like family. I would have closed Fulltone years ago if not for them. I've done well financially, thanks in part to you. But he's done very well out of that. And to many large years in the roaring 2000s and beyond, plus real estate and some good investments. So it's time to enjoy the fruits of all that labor. I'm closing the Fulltone California shop because I will not start pumping my personal money into a business that no longer turns profit. Okay, so this is the point here. This 4-year climate makes 100% made in the USA impossible. Fulltone will remain a valid corporation. I'll continue to vigorously defend my $3 million worth of worldwide trademarks and patents. And will build a few pedals here and there as I'm vividly aware of what it takes to keep my brand from being stolen. My plans: my wife and I bought well-known artist 17-acre property and world-class recording studio outside of Nashville. How great does that sound? So I'm going back to what I'm good at, playing the guitar. I'm recording my mediocre 70s rock. And I'll do the occasional outside project, particularly for unknown talent who could never otherwise afford to record through tape machines and great digital, let alone have 99 finely tuned vintage guitars, 65 vintage amps, and a ton of the finest vintage microphones at their disposal. You're welcome to place an order, blah, 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 as we are shutting down the dealer order portal soon. So blah, 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 all of that. Now, this is for me, like you're getting companies that are charging a lot of money for boutique pedals. And Fulltone kept the price of things like the OCD, to me, relatively cheap. Let's have a look, see what a Fulltone note is.
I don't see that as a sad thing.
No. I don't think so. But I think it's worrying for
yes, agreed. It is sad for his staff and his team.
Yeah,
but if you look at it, the aim of a business is to make money, and eventually you're not going to want to run that business anymore. So you either sell the business as a going concern, and it gets bought up by someone like, I'm not even going to say the name because
I know you're saying that,
or you close. Now, if it's more valuable to you as a going concern and as a thing to close it rather than selling out to a major, that's what you do, isn't it?
I agree. I do agree. I do agree. I'm trying to find, obviously you can't buy any because everyone's going, let's just go and buy all the OCDs we can possibly get our hands on.
Of course.
But to me, the OCD, if I can find it, was a fairly reasonably priced pedal.
Well,
let's see if we can find a price. I can't. Yeah, you can't get prices. But yeah, it was like, I think it was 150 quid, possibly. I could be wrong. Look, people are now scalping it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's worrying for the future of sort of pedal builders.
There are plenty of companies out there who are making good stuff and they're not trying to rip us all off. There are companies out there doing that, which is great.
Yes, absolutely.
More power to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, that's me. There we go. Boss have released the Cube LX and Dual Cube LX, Space LX.
Mm-hmm.
So these are quite little cool portable amps. I guess you could think of it more like a Spark type of thing.
Yeah, a Spark thing.
Yeah, but with Boss's sort of reliability as well. It's stereo as well, the stereo ins, which I think's really cool. I think that's a good little option for even sort of people that want like a bit of monitoring on stage as well. I think that's
is it battery powered or is it mains?
I imagine it's battery powered. because
that
their cube stuff was battery
started. That they've released. It looks really cool because it's battery.
Which one? Sorry, the what?
Arc Mini they do is battery powered.
Yes, they have. Let's have a look.
I love that as a busker's tool.
Yeah. Well, the old cubes were battery. I'm sure they were battery powered. I mean, I've just scanned it quickly. I couldn't see, but anyway, a boss is sending one.
Cool.
So I'll do a review as soon as it gets here. But
cool.
But the great thing about Boss is they don't get all their reviews going out at once. They sort of pace them. That's me done.
Cool.
Sorry for my Noel Gallagher rant. I feel guilty now.
Okay, right. Now to get it off your chest, go and get your new toy.
Yeah, let's go get new guitar. Right. So I'll do it from top. But hold on. I'm gonna dip it down here. There we go. She can't see it. There we go. Ready?
Well, it's a Strat then.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It could be anything else, but no.
Oh, it's a Strat. Oh, it's pink. It's Paisley. Oh, hello. It's got an F hole in it. It's got P90. Oh,
look at that bad boy.
That's gorgeous.
It's pretty tasty, isn't it? Oh, something rattled in it. What's that? Can you hear that? That's not very good. There's something rattling in there. Is that in the F hole? I think something's in the F hole. So it's a Greg Fessler. So this was the 2018 NAMM guitar. That's
beautiful.
Yeah. So you know when you go upstairs for the Fender display.
Yeah.
Or the display. So they had the Master Builders guitar, and this was the Greg Fessler doof that's hanging up. So it's a bit to me, it's a bit of a special one. For that reason, and it's I wanted something different. I wanted a Strat that was different. But have you noticed it hasn't got a car?
Is it not a forearm car? No.
So it was really unusual with the F hole and stuff, and it sounds amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm really pleased with that. It plays like an absolute dream, which is
You now have 2 master built Strats.
Yeah, I know. I'm incredibly lucky. But I should just say that yes, I do have to sell some bits to keep this.
So here's the real what's going then, because you've got quite a.
Should we see what's going? I think the I love the Silver Sky, and it's such a great sounding Strat. I think I might have to get rid of the Silver Sky.
But you now have 3 great sounding Strats.
That's the point. Possibly the P90 Les Paul. Possibly.
Oh.
It depends on what. I'm going to try and find a way of not getting rid of that. But
that P90 was a great guitar.
Yeah, really. It's nice. But I played it against a Strat, obviously with P90s, and it sounds very different. Very different. Strat's definitely brighter and got more. The Strat's like a telly. That Strat is like a telly,
right? Which
is quite interesting. But anyway, video coming out tomorrow, all about it.
Interesting, very very interesting.
Any very cool.
Weeks? Well, presumably not. If that's going to wipe you out for.
Oh my god, yeah. No, that is the most expensive guitar that I've ever bought, and it was used. It was a second-hand one. Most expensive guitar I've ever bought, but I saw it and just had to get it. And it's funny. I've always liked Paisley guitars, but it'd be interesting to go. People just go. Definitely would not go anywhere near that.
Oh no, I'd be all over that.
You would. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Well, hence Paisley telly.
Yes, there we go. Aristotle Dukas, probably not the brightest idea to publicly announce your interest in guitar and auction before the sale. Just mentioning. Nah, it's all good.
Nah, because if I didn't get any of them, I'm not going to be emotionally upset.
Yeah, no, it's like we're not doing.
I'm just saying the stuff that I find interesting, not necessarily the stuff I'm going to.
And it's mainly, James is saying stuff to mainly entertain,
Yeah.
and see what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not buying all those guitars.
No, no, absolutely not. Aaron said, just got a Kemper again, mainly for the iPad editor. Can't believe it's only Kemper and Boss that have mobile editors in 2022. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, nice one, Aaron. I hope you love that. Gordon Smith offered the Explorer in the catalogue back in the John Smith days. I think 300 to 500 is reasonable these days for a Partington belt model. There we go. Nice one. I can answer the whole why would Gibson question. Yeah.
Because
but that's the whole thing. To me, it's not like a Kurt Cobain guitar where people are obsessed with Kurt Cobain. He's an icon. I don't consider Noel Gallagher to be an icon.
the problem with Noel Gallagher is the sort of money that guitar is it's not going to appeal to people who are Noel Gallagher fans. Because if you're a Noel Gallagher fan, you probably haven't got 10 grand to throw at a guitar.
Yeah, if people that like Oasis back in,
you're probably not going to throw 10 grand at a guitar. You might have bought the Roundel Epiphone that was a Noel Gallagher signature from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, they did one with the Union. Oh God, it was horrible.
Yeah. Yes.
Does the Noel Gallagher signature have a capo welded to the second fret? It should do, shouldn't it? It should all just be indented. If it's been proper Murphy labbed, it should actually just be all. Yeah. I took both my amps to the WKM on the WKMD.
WKMD.
Both my amps on the. Okay, to a local amp specialist, said for a 40 valve change and quality inspection for peace of mind. Turns out my bad cat isn't giving out the full wattage potential. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that?
I still want to know what WKMD is. On the
weekend?
Yes, probably weekend.
On the weekend, though. At the weekend. I don't know. Unless there's something we don't know. Oh, that's really interesting, mate. I wonder why that's not giving out the full wattage. Because you know it's got the K-Master. Okay, let me tell you about the K-Master. The K-Master works from 0 to about 1 o'clock. That's its full wattage. Okay, so 0 to 1 o'clock is as loud as it gets. Then past 1 o'clock, you just get more and more apparent distortion.
Right.
So I would question if you took him to a local amp specialist. I would question whether the guy's a specialist if he didn't know that. What would you say?
Yeah, I would be local amp specialist for me would be Peach or someone who I really respected. So Steve Barrett, who we've seen on the video, his father-in-law did all my valve amps and was amazing amp tech. Because he's been doing it since the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not knowing who it is, Pet, and not that we're knocking the person who claims to be a local amp tech, but
no, he might be. He might just be looking at that amp and going, hold on a sec, how come it goes up to 1 o'clock and then nothing? You're not getting anything past that. That is what that K-Master circuit does. So if he's saying that and he hasn't done his homework on the K-Master circuit, that's what that is.
Okay, maybe it's worth. Yes.
Aaron Schultz says, Oasis got me into music. I'm 100% for it personally. Nice one. I mean, I think it's a lovely looking guitar.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Really nice guitar. Huh?
It's not a 335.
It's a 355.
Yeah.
Sticking with the bad cat, said Pet, is there any reason they don't ship with a booklet? Anderton's confirmed that they don't include one. No, I don't know. I don't think. Did I get one with mine? I think I did get one. You could probably download it from the internet. Personally, I don't like manuals. I'd much rather have everything digitally. online because one thing, it saves trees, and it doesn't clutter up your house.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. What's that?
Well,
yeah, look at that. That's what can happen. That's what can happen.
Tree there, so.
Jeff Rock says, been watching Billy Idol and Steve Stevens unplugged videos this week. Steve playing riffs, separate bass lines at the same time. Amazing player. He's unbelievably good. Proper guitar player.
Incredible player.
God, such a great player. Pet says, Aaron Love Oasis' first 2 albums are great. Graham Coxon was far more interesting guitarist, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I completely agree. I mean, the thing about Noel Gallagher was it was open chords played through a dual rectifier. To me, that's what it sounded like. It was just like, and then like this wall of, there was no nuance to it for me.
Whenever we used to do Oasis covers in the band, I went into full, I don't give a monkey's sloppy drumming mode, and it made it sound more like Oasis.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's I completely agree.
That doesn't turn me on. If you play something like Park Life, is a great tight.
Thought about every single part. I mean, I wasn't a massive Blur fan, but every single part that on those Blur records is a heavily thought about part.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, I thought so. Oasis were great for melodies. That's what it's all about, and classic sort of sing-along melodies, absolutely brilliant. Lyrically shocking, musically questionable. Sorry,
yes.
I can't stop. Can I? You got to stop me.
No, I'm not. I'm enjoying it. I can't either. So what can I say?
Pet Moxie Cub 40R. No, it's he's got Steve. He's got a there we go. Cub 415R.
Yes.
Thomas Johnson says I have a set of Franlin hum cancelling P90s going into a Strat soon. Nice. My Strat is more wood than yours though. The Warmouth Pickguard should be arriving today. Nice one, mate. Oh yeah, let's know how that goes. There's something in the F hole. Ooh, matron.
Oh no.
Matron. Steve Mill says, I'll take the Silver Sky off your hands. You're more than welcome to it, Steve. Get in contact if you want it, and then work something out.
Not difficult to find online.
I think I will regret. I think that guitar will be a guitar that I go, oh, why did I get rid of that? Jeff, it's a really good guitar, actually. Steve Mill says, no Gallagher fans are about to cash in their pensions now. Perfect time in Gibson. That's true, actually, yeah. But it's a
right.
Can we have another look at the guitar?
Yeah.
Are you have you got it going on?
We're on. I mean, it's a lovely thing.
It's not a 335. I don't understand why they're calling it a 335.
No.
I hate to be a cork sniffer. It's got a baritone on it.
Is it a cork sniffer or something else?
I did say cork. Easily, yeah. It's a great looking guitar. I think it's a really nice. And it's got an ebony fret. It's got ebony fret. It's got ebony.
335.
It's not a 335.
There, if you hold it in that way, where it's kind of this side of you, it looks kind of weird. Whereas someone like who's the guy who plays for Jules Holland? Franklin. Not Mark Franklin. That's the
I know the guy you mean. Yeah, he's tasty play.
Everything's beautiful, but it looks right on him. He plays it. It's like he plays it here rather than here. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Whereas Noel Gallagher's like it's here and it looks kind of like sticking out. Whereas if you play it this way,
have another look at that. Let me have another look at him where he's holding it.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I know what you mean. It's quite far. It's a nice looking guitar. Let's find the positivity. It's a really nice looking guitar. He doesn't look very happy about it. I've got to be honest. Look at his face. He's just like,
he doesn't look very happy, does he? Let's face it.
No, he's like, no, mate, don't like it.
Anyway, let's dive in here.
Noxious man. Hollywood Actress says, hi both. Missed last week and only just tuned in as I've been away with the family. Oh, nice one. Hope you had a good time away.
So I missed the last couple of weeks as well, but hey, I'm allowed.
Shocking. Just heard you may sell the Silver Sky. I thought it was your number one among the others. We'll rewatch the show back to find out why you're selling it. Yeah, I'm selling it because I bought a guitar that
you can't afford.
That I can't afford. Yes, very expensive guitar that I can't afford. That will be, it will be a sort of lifer, I think. So, excuse me. Lee says went to Steve White drum clinic years ago. His brother Alan, Oasis drummer, turned up in his Aston Martin DB9. Just goes to show talent and ability don't always pay long. Steve White's a good drummer, though, isn't he?
Steve White plays for Paul Weller, amongst others. He's a great drummer. I have a piece of Oasis memorabilia.
What is it?
Back in my days of making pop videos, we did. Do you remember when there was all the hype about the Oasis, the difficult third album, and it was the next Oasis album, and everyone was talking about it, yada yada yada.
What album was it? What was that album?
I don't remember the name of it now because I really can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But because they sent out a copy of the album to us first to make the videos from.
Yeah.
We had to do the album, and of course they can't just send it out. We had to sign off all sorts of things, so we won't let it out. Yada yada yada. But for that, they paid us £1. But I have a check signed by all 4 members of Oasis, made out to me for £1 that I've never cashed for obvious reasons. So
sorry, explain that again. You've got a check. Why have you got the check?
For £1, basically, as to pay us for not releasing the album, to not sending it to the Sun or to Radio 1 or someone like that. They pay you. It's a legal thing. It's a legal covenant thing.
Oh wow! So, that's really interesting. That's a great.
You can't tell someone legally. You can't tell someone to do something, but you can pay them not to do it.
Really? I never knew that.
It's a copyright thing, I think. But anyway, I've got a check that I really should frame and put in the studio for £1, signed by them all, and it says.
I think you should have. Only things done by musicians. No, that's really wrong. That's not
brackets. The band known as Oasis.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. I'm just trying to find. So apparently, there's. I just saw that. Aaron was saying that there's an Epiphone version as well. James, could you stick on the old doofler?
I will do when it appears.
It's okay. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Hold on. See, I always do this. I get opinionated, and then we finish the show, and I go, "Why was I just opinionated?" Not that one. Here we go.
Oh.
So they've got an Epiphone. What's that? A casino type?
Yeah.
Type thing. It's got humbuckers though, isn't it?
Yes. What was the casino? Was it P90s?
I think it was P90s, dog ear ones. Yeah. So there's it does look nice. That
it does.
But anyway, where is it? Let's go back to that. Yeah, it looks like
mine.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
It's got the old sort of headstock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't used to play Epiphones.
Yeah, the roundel one, the bright blue with the RAF roundels was an Epiphone.
Yeah, but I think that was before the endorsement though, wasn't it? That was before they got given guitars.
Yeah.
I think someone else used to play Epiphones that I saw the other day, and it was exactly the same as yours. I saw a video, and it's just like, it's like it was a big track. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Kings of Leon video, "Sex on Fire."
Oh, really?
Yeah, played like exactly the same guitar as you.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Anyway, coming out.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay. Go.
Anyone, Wobbly Guitarist says, anyone see the Joe Bonamassa rig rundown? Really cool vintage gear. No, I haven't seen that.
I have, yeah. It's really nice, isn't it?
What's he using? Is he using his dumbbells?
Dumbbells and all sorts of stuff on tour. Because he can.
Absolutely. When you're Mr. Rich. The Rats, you might have a point about the specialist not knowing about the K-Master on the amp. I was just happy to have my Princeton fixed, but then he threw that spanner in the works, and I was, Yeah, really, check that out, but don't go to Anderton's and start kicking up. I think before you check it out, it might be worth just sending Bad Cat a a message just to double check. But I think they'll say that's the reason why, because that's the whole point of the K-Master circuit. It's a brilliant, great circuit. Yes, sorry. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, I saw that. That's why I found that. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. See, Peps, did you ever do any factory tour like English brands, Marshall, Orange? No, we were going to do Marshall, weren't we?
I'd say a long list of things I need to get to, but say I've got to sort this one huge thing out at the moment, and my brain is very much overtaken by it, as I'm sure you can all imagine. There will be a studio build update coming shortly. Now I'm back from holiday. Things have started appearing again today. I had a delivery of mains cable, as in the stuff that goes from the shed to the house, and it's like that.
Nice. And
it took 3 of us to lift it in.
Yeah, it's armor plated stuff.
Armored stuff, and it's ridiculous. 16 mil. It's heavy stuff. And I had a double pallet of flooring. Celotex for the floor arrived today as well. So that's pretty epic.
Nice.
And I realised that's not very light, so I put a tarpaulin over it and thought, hang on, I want to put a pallet over the top to keep it down.
Good idea. With all the rain coming, Oasis' third album was Be Here Now.
Yeah, that's the one.
Seems to recall it was massive, but not great musically.
It's not. What's the story? Sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. Lee, the sound of an album made on cocaine, apparently. Yeah.
I could not possibly comment.
Yeah. What Princeton do you have? There we go. They're having a nice little chat amongst themselves. 68 Silverface, not posh hand widey one.
Still, nice amp.
Lee says, yes, absolutely. I remember Noel said the new album had 100 overdub guitars on it. Yeah, no, well, that's going to sound killer, mate. 100 overdub guitars. I mean, that was basically that wall of sound. It's just like a
track today. I did a track today, and I had. I thought I'd offer some alternatives. So 12-string in the middle, 12-string acoustic in the middle, conventional 6-string one side, and then Nashville tuned the other side.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Full kind of so you can either have the split 12-string or the full 12-string, depending on which you want.
Okay.
Then there was a rhythm part and a kind of a leady part, and it sounded so full with bass and drums. I was like, I don't even want to put anything else on this. It's going to fill it up too much.
Yeah.
How can 100 overdubs work? All you end up doing is going, oh, I've got 100 guitar parts. Let's take out 96 of them.
Maybe doing the Def Leppard thing, like one note at a time.
All right,
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Jeff Rock said, Pet, I've got the same one. Just got a new WGS G10C speaker for it. It's made it significantly louder. Very nice. Hollywood says, Lee, thanks for your link of your guitar plan. I forgot to comment, but I wanted to say you surprised me, as I didn't expect Lee Petrucci, thank you, guitars, prog rock style is. Nice one. Jeff, I got a G10 Gold in there.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. That's a great speaker. It's my second option. I think they're having a little chat amongst themselves.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
If I run the twin Catanite in stereo, can I keep the delay at 0 and still retain the stereo? Is there a list of Katana stereo effects?
Use the ping pong delay. Use the normal delay.
I'm really confused. Hold on. If I run the twin Catanite in stereo, can I keep the delay at 0 and still retain the stereo? Yeah. I mean, just don't turn the delay off if you want.
Yeah.
And you'll still get the stereo reverb and that sort of stuff.
And the modulations and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great sound. That's such a great.
That was one of my favourite videos that we've ever done. We set those two up. We just sat there and went.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how good it sounded.
Yeah,
really good. That's a great dual amp setup.
Yeah, and for next to no money. not a lot of money for.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Right, should we do our giveaway? Well, we're not doing the giveaway, but talk about the giveaway.
Yes, indeed.
So Sennheiser sent us one of these, which is their. Hold on, there it is. I can't see.
WS wireless in-ear monitoring setup. So you get the transmitter, which is the bit that plugs into your mixer, the receiver, the bit that goes in your belt, and the in-ear headphones that go in your ears.
Oh yeah. Now this is their new the new range they've brought out, because their GW, I forgot what it is. They've got basically the one you have to pay the license for.
Yes. So what I'm guessing, Paul only sprung this on me today. So I think that's going to be a Wi-Fi, effectively a Wi-Fi version. It's not radio frequencies that you have to pay licenses for. It's the Wi-Fi version, which is
you don't have to pay. No, they said that apparently when you buy this, you're basically buying the license included.
That's handy. So maybe it is proper radio then. Proper.
Yes, I think they're limited frequencies.
Right. Very handy.
So, but really, I mean, the Sennheiser stuff is fantastic. It's the proper pro unit. So James and I are doing a video of it, possibly next week. I don't know if it's going to be released next week because we're doing it in conjunction with Gear for Music, and it's basically Gear for Music are doing the giveaway, but through our channel.
Yes.
And yes, they've got to wait for their stock to come in to make it, worthwhile for them. But we're going to do the competition on the Studio X channel. I don't know what we're going to do for competition yet.
We'll work it out. We'll do something. It won't be too taxing for you. Don't worry.
Yes, good. Yes, I don't like taxing things.
Sign your life away. Just give us your info and we can.
Yeah. And then we'll choose, and then we'll send it wherever in the world it needs to go. Whoever wins.
Yes.
But yes. So yes, there we go.
Very exciting. We like that.
I like that. Yeah.
So let's get to the last few questions, and then we can all pick up our ball and go home and stuff like that. Jumpers for goalposts. And
what we'll do as well, James, just to everyone, I think because James and I have a gig on next Saturday, we'll use this for the gig. I'll use this for the gig, and we'll get some footage. I won't use the headphones. I'll use my own headphones just so I don't put some Drew earwax on it.
Yes.
Never good, is it?
Well, it depends what your earwax is like. Yummy.
Yeah, saucy. Where we get to?
We're there.
I need that. How does I win? You wins by.
But how we'll work it out.
Yeah, we work it out. It'll probably just be a bunch of I don't know. Yeah, we'll I'll let you know. But trust me, it's going to be. That's an awesome piece of kit.
Yes.
I'd love it myself. I would. If I could keep it, I would. How did you both become savvy with EQ tweaking, etc.? My theory knowledge is on point, but the audio side not so much.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is. But basically, James and I worked in studios. And understand about sort of Q factors and frequencies and all that sort of stuff. And once you actually, get yourself an EQ, get yourself a piece of analog EQ, hardware EQ, which has a parametric EQ, even if it's like one band, and then you can see what all the controls do. 3 controls, gain, frequency, and Q. That's it. And once you understand that, you can, and the more you do it, the more you can hear frequencies.
And you'll start to hear that kind of that whistle tone, what that is, and what kind of honky sounds are. Don't be afraid of using descriptive words as well, because when someone says, "Oh, it's too harsh," harsh actually is a frequency. Oh, it's too muddy. Oh, that's a range of frequencies. Yeah. There's not enough power. That's a range of frequencies. When people say, "I don't like it," that doesn't help us as engineers. It sounds crap. That's not helping either. What don't you like about it? Does it sound muddy? Is it too bright? Is it not clear enough? Is it not clean enough? Things like that. All these phrases are stuff that you learn to interpret as, oh, I know what that means. That's mud. That's about 400 hertz ish. Oh, it's too harsh. Oh, that's probably about 3 to 5K ish. You start to interpret, and when you start doing that, and you start messing around with an EQ, you go, oh, okay, I recognize that. And so Paul said, you start to recognize frequencies.
I'll do because at some point I really want to do an Axe Effects one, but there's a certain frequency that the Axe Effects has that I found that I like to tweak out. It's just a short little dip out, and it makes it sound so much better. But again, it explain a lot with other things.
When I'm in the studio, and it's much easier for me to do kind of like show and tell hardware, things like that. There's so much content I want to do that at the moment it's just so difficult to do. When I've got the new studio up and running and everything's plumbed in, which I know it sounds like it'll be a long way, but it won't. I reckon we're about 6 to 8 weeks from actual switch on.
Nice.
It'll be worth it. Let's carry on. Here we go.
Matt says, sorry I'm so late to the show. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. And to you, Matt.
It's all good.
David Bro says, have you guys used a TC Impulse? No, I haven't. No, it's an Impulse loader. IR loader.
Yeah.
Nice. Aristotle says, remember guitar is always mono because the source is mono. If you have a Kramer Ripley guitar or old Yamaha APX from the 80s, they were actually stereo, or at least every string went left to right.
Some of the Burns stuff did as well.
Did it? Didn't know that. Lee Abraham says, yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's the TC comment, I'm guessing.
Okay. Do a competition to make us do something creative musically. Yes, I think that's the only thing is that would reduce the amount of people that could apply for it, but maybe that's right.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, that, but yeah, we don't necessarily want 10. The thing is, and I'll speak honestly, the brand want us to get 10,000 entries. What we actually want, if you get people to do something easy, like fill in a form, you probably get that. Whereas if we want to make people work for it, you might get 3 entries. And unfortunately, that's the problem. I've tried it with huge brands to get people to actually do something and make some effort. Unfortunately, the days of getting people to do something for the Blue Peter competition are long gone.
Yeah. But have a think, though. Let's have a think. Something that's creative, that's not too taxing.
Yep.
Lee says, TC Impulse, great pedal for not much money. David Bro says, thanks to Lee, I bought the TC Impulse due to his recommendation. Have you guys tried it? So, no, I haven't tried it, but Lee talks highly of it. See, Pep says, have an idea for the contest. Weirdest patch on any pedal board, Katana Helix or other unit. Dig it. I like that.
I've got an idea for one, but I'll share it with you later because you might think it's crap, and I don't want to sound crap.
Fair enough. Hold on, Bogeyman. We've got to go straight to Bogeyman. Bogeyman. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much for your generosity. Hi, guys. Nice channel you have here. Paul, I've watched your favorite chords video and the 9 chords. You're killing my hand. What a stretch. Great video. Loving the chords. Viewing from the Netherlands. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice to have you on. Let me just show you something about the 9 chords type thing. So, so a standard, think of like your major 9, like it's going to sound horrible in here, but actually, let me just pick up a Highland Plectrum, Company Plectrum. That sort of Andy Summers guitar, you used it on lots of different things. So there's the actual chord, if you're doing it on an E shape, or the minor version looks like that. Now, the trick to this chord, it is a big stretch, and it really does kill the hand. But if you do like the A shape, the A major 9, someone's probably going to say, no, that's an add 9 or whatever. But whatever, it's what I would play as a major 9 or a minor 9. There. So they are big stretches, but the whole rule for it is your thumb on the back of the neck. If your thumb goes over the top of the neck, absolutely possible. Forget it. Absolutely possible. So you've got to have sort of perfect, sort of almost classical technique for it. with your thumb down the back of the neck. Hope that helps.
Cool. There's having a bit of a chat. Let's get down there. It's chatting. There we go. Let's get in there.
If I send my best Noel Gallagher riffs, do I stand a chance of winning? That's what we should do. We should get everyone to send in
And
trouble is I don't know any. Sorry, Noel. I didn't mean to bash you.
Sorry, he's not watching.
He loves it. He loves it. He's not watching anymore.
Well, that's it. We've got through to the end. Thanks ever so much for joining us, everyone. Paul and I will be conflabbing at how we can get you lot to work for the chance of winning some lovely Sennheiser goodies. We'll be doing more of that sort of stuff very soon, hopefully, because more companies are reaching out to us with some amazing stuff. And yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday with the usual mix of guitar guff, jivey banter, and general all-round chit chat. But
and being over opinionated.
Probably. Whoever said that. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you again very soon. Good night.
Cheers, guys.